You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe and check out the playlist.
I grew up hearing gunshots in the late night. Ghetto bird, police sirens as a mother cries. Just another victim of the Soundbrown genocide. Locals posted locked and loaded, ready to take lives. And when they heard the chief late, they would duck up out of sight. Like your car when the sun down, it was mission time. You had to stay alert cause bullets always travel blind. We stayed posted, we stayed drinking and we getting high. Marchando down the enemy's neighborhood as we ride. Put the hood, put the glica sample, fuck their side. No regrets, but the truth is no peace of mind.
G-File.
Alright, right here in Los Angeles by Santa Monica, you have the GYC neighborhood, or also known as GYGC, is the Graveyard Crips, or the Graveyard Gangster Crips, because they belong to the gangster car. How Crips sets are broken up into cars, you know what I mean? They belong to the gangster umbrella. That's how they get down. And they're located right here in the west side of Santa Monica, by Woodlawn, almost by the cemetery on Pico Boulevard and 14th Street. That is their territory, homie. That is, home base for them, their domain right there. Where it be cracking, you feel me? And the Graveyard Cribs are with the business, homie. They be giving Santa Monica PD a hard time, you feel me? Santa Monica PD has already tried all kinds of shit to try to combat this neighborhood, you feel me? And it seems everything that they throw at them, nothing ever seems to stick or work. That's just how they do, Now, the Graveyard Cribs and the Venice Shoreline Cribs, have a pretty strong rivalry, you feel me? And they also beef it with the rest of the neighborhoods that are raza, like Santa Monica 13, Venice 13, Culver City. The Cripsets and the Homeboys don't have the best relationships over here. You feel me? They be going at it machine, and that's just how it is, when you have a bunch of neighborhoods in just in one location, tempers flaring and shit's gonna crack, homie. But the Graveyards are still right here holding it down and representing for theirs, you feel me? But that's what's up with the Graveyard Cribs right there. All right, now right here in Los Angeles, in Venice, you have one of the most notorious of the Crip sets in this side that you definitely hear about. You know what I mean? These guys definitely be putting it on the map. You have the Venice Shoreline Cribs, which is VSLC. Is how they write it, and yes, they are the largest neighborhood on this side, like I said. You know what I mean? They're well known throughout Venice, you feel me? This neighborhood definitely be doing its thing. Now their neighborhood is from Sunset to California Avenue, between 7th and 5th Avenue. That is their turf, that is their domain, you feel me? Was known as the Ghost Town, you feel me? And they deuce times, 2X. That's the card that these fools belong to. You get me? They, with the deuces. That's just pretty much how they get down. You feel me? And this neighborhood has been around since the 1960s, homie. So this neighborhood has already been right here for a long time. You feel me? And this neighborhood is large. I'm telling you, they roughly about 1,000 members. That's what I was told. So that's already a lot of manpower, homie. I don't know about y'all, but that's a whole lot of manpower. And like I said, this neighborhood is with the business. You know what I mean? They be putting in massive work right there, homie. You know what I mean? Definitely putting their vital on the map. You feel me? Now they're cool. They seem to be cool with the neighborhood cribs, the boulevard cribs. Sets like that. It seems like there's no animosity between them. You know what I mean? Normally a bunch of the crib sets do end up beefing it, but it seems that right here is all good with them. You feel me? They mainly beef it with homeboys, like I said, like with Culver City, Santa Monica. Some homies said that they're cool with Venice, but I was told by both sides that there was pleito and all that. So I don't know, homie. But that's just how it is. But yeah, that's like who they pretty much beef it with. Also, like 18th Street, the Bloods. Obviously, they beef it with all these blood sets. Oh, they beef it with the Graveyards too, and the Playboys, Gangster Cribs. But yeah, man. But the Venice shoreline. They be holding it down right here, representing for their side and putting their neighborhood on the map. You feel me? And that's what's up with the shoreline Crips right there. Now, also right here, you have the by yourself hustler Crips, or by yourself gangster Crips. You feel me? Either one is how they write it. You feel me? So that's pretty much how they get down. They got that gangster car and the hustler car. You feel me? That's pretty much how they be doing things. Now this neighborhood is known as the Selfish Gang. You feel me? That's why hence to go with the name by yourself. And they already been right here since the late 80s, early 90s when they were established. On the Faircrest Heights area by Palm is where where they be doing their thing. Now they fall under the Hustler Crib umbrella, which consists of like Hard Time Hustler Cribs, like Eastside Hustler Cribs, like stuff like that. And then you got the Gangster Cribs, you know what I mean? But that's pretty much how they get down. You feel me? And this neighborhood right here, man, they be putting in work. As a matter of fact, they made the news a few times. You know what I mean? They're actually really known for the when they gunned down by the bodyguard of Snoop Dogg. Um, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what's up with them and why they ended up on the news for that and all kinds of shit. You feel me? Like I said, this neighborhood is with the business, homie. They be doing their thing, and they seem to be pretty good. Cool allies with like the rest of the gangster Crips, like the 43rds, 42nds, 40s, and all of that, And seems like they be going at it with the Venice Shoreline, Rolling 60s, Blasting Fools, and all of that. You know what I mean? Those are the enemies that they be beefing it with. But they be holding down their own and putting their set on the map right there for the By Yourself Crips right there. All right. Also, right here in Los Angeles, the other Crip set that you have the Marvin Gangster Cribs, MGC, as what is known, or MG. You know what I mean? Marvin Gangsters. Is how you either way is how you could say it. Now they're based off of the west of Los Angeles, named after obviously Marvin Avenue is why that's their name. You can find them right there between Venice and Washington Boulevard is where they're located at, and now the Marvin Gangster Crips fall under the 3X Gangster Crip umbrella. So that's pretty much how they get down, how they do their thing. During the 1980s is when the Marvin Gangsters, were doing their things, homie. You know what I mean? So that's like early 80s when, they were doing right there, big things. You feel me? Now they even have like an autobiography you guys could check out. You know what I mean? On some guy, Monster. You know what I mean? He was in LA, obviously a gang member. Where like, like it's pretty good. I watched like some of it. I didn't get to finish it. But it was pretty good shit. You know what I mean? It talks about like the whole A trays and the gangster cribs, and it's some pretty good shit. But the Marvin Gangster Cribs is, like I said, homie, they no joke, homie. These guys are definitely one of the neighbors that you do hear about over here. They be holding it down right there. Seem to be pretty cool with the A trays, the schoolyards, and all of that. But I know that there's like a bitter like rivalry like with the Black P-Stones and the Rolling 20s and all that. You know what I mean? It be getting hardcore. But hey, homie, they still be holding their ground and putting theirs on the map. You feel me? Now, another set right here that you have, but not to be confused with the Marvin Cribs, you have the Manfield Cribs. This one's written as MFC is how they're known, or MFGC, obviously, because they belong to the Gangster Crib set car. That's how they get down. That's pretty much how they do their thing. And they're located right there in the west of Los Angeles. They started roughly around the 80s is when this neighborhood was established. You feel me? That was Manfield Hustlers. Right there, located on Manfield Avenue, between Venice and Olympic. And yes, I know that all these sets seem to be staying really close to each other. I'm telling you, there's no breathing room over here. If it's not SA Homeboys, it's black neighborhoods, but it's a battlefield. You know what I mean? But the Manfield Hustlers, Gangster Cribs right there, they be doing their thing, you know what I mean? Well, they were Manfield Hustlers, and then they became officially Manfield Gangster Cribs. It's pretty much how they do their thing. And they're one of the most active neighborhoods right here on the west side, homie. It's one of the ones that you roughly see up a lot. You know what I mean? They be sharing right there the western area with the Playboy Gangster Cribs. They collide almost the territories collide with like Venice shoreline. Um, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's jam packed full of neighborhoods. There's no breathing room over here. It is literally the danger zone. When I say it's the danger zone, it's because it's the danger zone. But this neighborhood right here, homie, they got the number and manpower to be holding it down. You feel me? These guys ain't no chumps, ain't no pushovers. These guys will definitely handle theirs. You feel me? And that's pretty much how they be doing their thing. It seems to be going at it right there with the Playboys and and a few other sets. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. They're still putting their setup on the map and representing for theirs. Another crib set that you have over here is the Schoolyard Cribs, the SYC, also known as the SYGC or CG. You know what I mean? The Schoolyard Crib Gang is how you see it up. Now, they're located right here on the west side by Mid-City. That's where they tend to fall, you know what I mean? And they were established since the 80s, located right there on Longwood Avenue between Crenshaw and Venice Boulevard is where this neighborhood is located. They got up to like about 300 members, so, they're pretty decent in size. They got several smaller cliques under their set, pues. Like you have the Yank Mob, the Midtown, the 1600 block, the 2800 block, 4800 block, 17th Street. The New York Yankees. All of that, you know what I mean? That's what they sport, you know what I mean? Like that's their gear, that's how they be representing for their sets. You know, that's pretty much how they do their thing. And like I said, the Schoolyards is well known throughout this area. A lot of people know who these guys are, you know what I mean? And they seem to be feuding pretty heavily with the Manfield Gangster Cribs. They've been having beef right there for a cool minute. I guess some heavy animosity between them. And yeah, they still be doing their thing, representing for theirs and putting theirs on the map. But that's what's up with the Schoolyards. Another neighborhood you have located right here in the west of Los Angeles, you have the Playboy Gangster Cribs. Now, the Playboy Gangster Cribs, not to be confused with the Playboy Gang, you feel me? The Playboy Gangster Cribs, PBG or PBGC has written, have been active right here in this area for about 30 years, you know what I mean? And they fall under the gangster umbrella. Their neighborhood spreads right there. What's Pico Boulevard and Las Cienega Boulevard is where their neighborhood is at. And their bitter rivalry with the Manfield Gangster Cribs, man. That's like I was talking about before. These guys have a heavy beef between each other. A lot of shootings between both, neighborhoods back and forth. Should be crazy. You know what I mean? This neighborhood also made the news several times. You know what I mean? They just kick it up active like that. You know what I mean? They've been around, like I'm telling you, they were doing shit already since like they were making the news since like the 1980s already. So that just gives you guys an idea of like how long they've been doing the destruction right here. Hey, so these guys ain't no chumps, man. You come over here trying to trip on them, I mean, they gonna lay you out, dog. That's pretty much how they get down. But that's what's up with the Playboy Gangster Cribs right there, representing for theirs and putting theirs on the map still.